Welcome to Community Roundup, powered by Brad's Furniture and Appliances. The show will learn what local nonprofits and sports clubs and events in the area that make Port St. John and area such a remarkable place to live. My name is Ed Hitchens, and of course, I am your host. Today, we're joined by Margaret May of the
Peace River North Festival.
Peace River North Performing Arts Festival. So, tell us a little bit about the history of the organization or the event within the region. You said started in the 1940s?
Well, I mean, the festival movement, there has been festivals around in the region since probably about the 1940s. I think there was a lot of speech in those days. And as I say, the festival was around so long that I actually participated when I was young. And in those days, actually, we used to have the festival would be 1 year here and 1 year in Dawson Creek. But the current association that runs the festival now was founded in the early 80s. And so we've been around for about 40 years in its current form. And so it's been going strong and kind of growing over the years.
Okay, so when and where is the event occurring?
The event is occurring at the Northeast Cultural Center, and it's running this year from April the 4th until April the 13th.
Okay, so what kinds of things what kinds of skills, events, performances will we see individuals partake in?
Well, as you said, it's a performing arts festival, and so that is our focus. And it's kind of divided into two parts, where you have the music section in the first part and the dance section in the second part. So within the music part, we start off with bands. We'll be on the 4th, and then moving into vocal, so solo voice, choirs, piano will be all that weekend, and then strings are on the Monday and a little bit on Tuesday. And then we do sometimes have speech arts, but unfortunately this year we didn't get any entries, so we're hoping that will make a comeback.
What speech arts, like poetry and spoken word?
Yeah, it's recitation mostly, poetry, okay, prose, some Shakespeare if you want to. And so it's a very cool division, but as I say, unfortunately we didn't get entries this year, but we're hoping to see it kind of grow. But then at the end of the last 4 days of the festival, the 4 days and actually one evening, of the festival, our dance. It starts on Wednesday evening of I want to say 9th.
Okay.
Is that, yeah. We actually had to expand the festival. Normally we go from Thursday to Sunday. We had to expand it by 1 day because of the high level of entries we got this year.
So there's a lot of demand for
It's very popular,
okay.
Yeah. It's the biggest section, but we feel like it's a good problem to have, that we had to add a night.
Who comes to participate in this festival?
A lot of people from around the region, of course, within the city, especially in the music section. A lot of those individuals are from Fort St. John or the area. We do get bands coming from Fort Nelson. Within the dance festival, we have dancers that come sometimes from Alberta. There's, I think, a studio coming from Prince George this year, sometimes from Quesnel, and Dawson Creek, as well as our local studios. And we actually have a group that's coming all the way from Whitehorse this year, which we're quite excited to welcome them to town.
Is that a first?
I think they came once a long time ago, but it's the first in quite a number of years. So we're very happy to have them coming.
Okay, so how is the event actually structured? What skills, knowledge can people gain by going to the event? For someone who hasn't been there or never experienced it before, what are they expecting to see?
Yeah. Well, of course, first of all, there's a lot to be gained from the people that are participating. I've always said that you just gain sort of non-related skills when the kids who are playing piano are also learning to present themselves in public and learning confidence, even though it's absolutely terrifying to do it. If you are attending it, obviously it's entertaining. And if you have a particular interest, to go and see the kids perform. But you'll also be very impressed with the talent that we have in this community and the skill level that you see there. Those kids put in a lot of training. I mean, I mentioned before that my daughter was in dance, and so I'm well familiar with the hours that they spend in the studio. But I will say that if you want a good night of entertainment, I mean the sessions every day, and we run pretty much all day every day. Sessions are open to the public at a pretty small fee. You can just come to the cultural center, and there's an admissions table, so you can just get a ticket and go in. But if you just do one thing at the festival, I always say come to the final concert, which is what we call the Best of the Fest honors concert, and it features sort of the top performances selected by our adjudicators from every division. So it's a good sampling of what went on And that night you will be impressed with the level, because there's some really high talent on
and is this
display.
just open to school age children, or is it open? Is there a wide range of people who participate?
It's majority school age children. It's from 5 to 18, I would say, but we do have some adult participants, like with the choir, and we have some dance groups that are always very entertaining that participate. And basically, I won't even mention how the highest age, because there's no limit to that. Basically, the lowest level for the kids is about 5, and as I say, the large majority of the kids of the participants are school age.
Okay. I know we always know that these type of grassroots events cannot happen without the heartbeat of volunteers. Tell me exactly how many volunteers are needed to put on an event of this magnitude.
I mean, if you kind of count on all my fingers and toes, I mean, we probably have 100 volunteers at least to run, because I was trying to think of how many exactly, and definitely every dance session that is, a morning or an afternoon session, they're sort of divided up into separate classes, have at least probably a dozen. I was thinking it was 10, but when you count the doors and the people that are doing certificates and the people that are helping the adjudicators and working backstage, it's probably a dozen at every session. Then, of course, people sign up for multiple sessions. But so we draw a lot on the moms and dads of the students, so to fill those volunteer positions. And we have a committee that's about a dozen of us that is the core committee that works all year.
Okay, so what kind of planning? You just talked about it, going on planning all year. So how much planning is needed for an event like this?
Well, I mean, we usually have a sort of a debrief after, but we really get going in the fall. September, we have our AGM, and then we discuss our syllabus, get the syllabus out, get all the invitations out, hire adjudicators. That's a big thing we have to do early to get, because we have top level professionals come in to adjudicate the different sessions. They're very experienced, or they've been professionals in that particular discipline. So those we have to get in place early. Then once all the entries come in, there's a lot of paperwork to do all the adjudication sheets and books and certificates and awards, and so there's quite a bit to get. And scheduling is always a challenge.
Okay, so how is each individual, I guess, discipline sort of judged?
Well, we hire, as I mentioned, we hire adjudicators that come in that are specialists in that. So there's kind of there is a competitive aspect to it. So we do give out scholarships for the top level kids, and there's first, second, and third given to classes in. Is fairly subjective based on the the preferences and the skills and the experience of the adjudicator. But we also highly emphasize just the participation as well, because we feel there's a lot to be gained and learned from participating. We hope the adjudicators they all get adjudication sheets with written comments about the performance, and the music kids actually sometimes get a little bit of a lesson right on stage. They come back up to the piano or whatever it is, and so we hope first of all, we hope they have a little fun, and we hope that they learn something from it too, and so that learning aspect of it is very important to us.
Okay, so for people who would be interested in volunteering, I think we're doing that.
Well, just go on our website. We've Google Peace River North Festival and kind of or the Facebook, and just send us a message, and somebody would get back to you. And I should say too, talking about the judging aspect, we are also a qualifying festival for the Performing Arts BC, the provincial festival. And I don't know if some of your watchers are probably aware that we held the provincials here in Fort St. John very successfully, I might add. Got a lot of support from the community, and we actually have had some people doing extremely well at the provincial level. We had a number of dancers get through the finals, and we had some awards given to our musicians. So we acquit ourselves quite well, and of course all the kids just represent our area, very, very well. They're generally a good bunch of kids, so and as well as very talented.
Okay, so for somebody who's never been to this festival, what do you hope the takeaway is?
Well, again, we hope that everybody would enjoy themselves, but just to appreciate the talent and the skills that we have in this community, because sometimes I think we have a tendency to be a little modest about our little northern community, but we have a lot of people that are very skilled and very talented, and there's opportunities to learn. And if you are interested maybe in music, then you can see, there's chances to go and get lessons and go and learn at whatever level you want to do it.
Okay, so last question, where can people find more information?
Just can go on our website or Facebook. Just Google Peace River North Festival, and it'll lead you to the website or to Facebook. And we try to do regular posts about when schedules, when they're available, and in results as well. So yeah.
Okay. All right. That's all the questions I have. Margaret, once again, thank you very much for the time. This has been Ed Hitchens for energeticcity.ca for the Community Roundup. Once again, the Community Roundup is brought to you by Brad's Furniture and Appliances. And if you like what you see, want to see some new content, click that like and subscribe button. We'll see you next time.